Nevertheless, there's no fighting. No fighting, Huey. No fighting, James. And no fighting, Shane. And most of all, no fighting, John. If anybody gets in my face, I'm knocking them out.
I'm still fresh, I'm still strong, but if they don't pay me, I can jog on into the sunlight. I still have my breakfast.
You want a fight that you could properly get yourself up for, though, and Carl Froch would be one of those?
You know something? Not just him, anybody.
It's not about belts, it's not about anything. At this level, at this stage of my career, I can honestly say it's not about belts, it's not about money, it's not about any of that. It's about just the love of the game.
Explosive scenes. John Fury has turned his fury on his own son. After Tyson Fury suggested John should avoid fighting Carl Froch and hinted he looked weak, John erupted in anger. Fans are stunned as the family feud intensifies. Critics say Tyson spoke the truth, but John clearly isn't accepting it.
John is an emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself.
Duke McKenzie just sits back and honestly laughs because he has watched this Fury family circus more times than he can count. He says they are great at self-promotion. Nobody does it better. But Duke is tired of it. Everyone is tired of it. The whole circus comes to town and absolutely nothing genuinely meaningful ever happens.
Who knows? They're great at self-promoting, aren't they? And, listen, you've heard it all before. You've seen it all before. When Tyson Fury fights, the whole circus comes to town and everybody just jumps on board and says the first thing that comes into their heads.
Frank Warren has had completely enough of this John Fury and Carl Froch situation, and he is making his feelings absolutely clear. He says he has no regard for any of it. It is totally irrelevant to him. All he cares about is what Tyson is doing to stop John. Everything else is just pure sideshow nonsense.
With the two of them, and it is what it is, but it's nothing to do with me, and I've got to be honest, I have no regard for it. It's irrelevant to me. All I care about is what Tyson's doing and the fight. The rest of it's a sideshow.
John Fury says something that honestly makes your jaw drop. He says his name should be on the card. He is demanding to be included. He says Tyson disrespects him and he takes the job over. Nobody can stop him. But John, your son Tyson just publicly sided with the Carl Froch situation instead of you. When your own flesh and blood starts distancing himself from your behavior, maybe it is genuinely time to ask yourself some very serious questions about what you are actually doing here.
I just want to make that point that my name should be on there. And I just want to tell them that, you know what? You can't knock me, mate. Disrespect me and I'm going to take the job over. I don't care who it is. You disrespect me and I'm taking the job over. And nobody can stop me.
Carl Froch goes absolutely savage on John Fury, and every single word is completely deserved. He says John acts like he is the big star, the big draw, like anybody cares about what he does or says. But Carl delivers the most crushing verdict imaginable. John is just a big fat mess. Nobody is making real noise. Nobody is genuinely interested in John. And Carl Froch, a genuine 3-time world champion, calling you irrelevant is about as brutal as it genuinely gets.
It'll be embarrassing, the same way you're embarrassing. So if you've not seen the video, that's basically what I said. So he's addressed that and said he's not going to give anybody a payday who he doesn't like. He feels like he's the big star and the big draw, like anybody gives a shit about him, you know what I mean? He's just a big fat mess. Nobody making noise. Nobody's really interested.
Alexander Usyk watches everything unfolding between John Fury and his son Tyson over the Carl Froch situation, and his verdict is absolutely clear. This is bad behavior first and foremost. He says fair enough about sport, but what is happening between John and Tyson is not sport anymore. It is like a street fight. And Usyk, the most respected champion in the entire division, saying your family drama looks like a street fight is genuinely one of the most damaging things anyone could possibly say about the Fury household right now. John, even Usyk is shaking his head at you.
It's bad behavior first. Fair enough. Yeah, it's a little bit about sports. It's a like street fight, yeah. If my man who support me, yeah, I kill you.
Eddie Hearn watches this John Fury versus Tyson Fury confrontation over Carl Froch and says something that cuts right through everything. He says yes, John is still dangerous. All his attributes still exist regardless of his mental state. The size, the aggression, the presence. But then Eddie admits something genuinely uncomfortable. He sees a man in real pain right now. A father whose own son has publicly turned against him. And Eddie says honestly, he cannot understand how the people around John can watch this behavior and feel even remotely comfortable about where everything is genuinely heading.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, you know? I've got to be honest with you, like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it.
Simon Jordan makes perhaps the most human and most intelligent observation of this entire extraordinary situation. He says John Fury is Tyson's dad, and if John genuinely wants to repair that relationship with his son, the absolute last thing he should be doing is giving newspaper interviews about it. Simon calls it an unpalatable circumstance, and he is completely right. Because every time John goes public with this Tyson and Carl Froch drama, he pushes his son further away instead of drawing him closer. And the whole boxing world watches this father and son implode publicly and genuinely wishes somebody close to them would just say enough.
The only relevance that John Fury has is Tyson Fury's dad. So with due respect to the circumstance, if you want to repair your relationship with your son, the best thing you probably shouldn't be doing is interviews with newspapers about it. For me, I always question that. I always think that's an unpalatable circumstance.
Francis Ngannou sits there watching John Fury completely lose IT over the Tyson and Carl Froch situation. And even this man, someone who has seen genuine chaos inside combat sports, looks genuinely confused by what is happening. He says John starts getting really mad and really upset. And at the time, Francis honestly does not even fully understand what is going on around him. And that right there tells you everything about how completely out of control this entire situation has become. When one of the most elite combat sports athletes alive is sitting there watching the Fury family drama unfold and saying he genuinely does not understand what is happening, you know the circus has reached a level that has gone far beyond anything resembling normal human behavior. John Fury, your son Tyson publicly supported Carl Froch over you. And your response to that is making absolutely everyone around you deeply uncomfortable.
He said, oh, he started to get really mad, upset about it. Like, yes, this is how they do to get fighter tired. But at the time, I didn't know what was going on, you know.
Frank Warren says something that carries enormous weight given everything surrounding the John Fury and Tyson confrontation over Carl Froch. He says he genuinely does not like things like this. He calls the scuffles and the nonsense at press conferences absolutely ridiculous. And then Frank says the line that hits hardest of everything. This is exactly where it all goes wrong. This is the moment when a genuine boxing occasion crosses a line and becomes something that embarrasses everyone connected to the sport. Frank admits he has not even had a chance to speak to anybody about how bad things truly got between John and Tyson over this Carl Froch situation. And the fact that Frank Warren himself is walking around not fully knowing the extent of the damage tells you everything about how quickly and how completely this entire situation has spiraled beyond anyone's ability to properly manage.
I don't like things like that. I mean, it's ridiculous, and you see these scuffles and all this nonsense at press conferences, and that is where it goes wrong. There's a little cut. I don't know how bad it is. I've not had a chance to speak.
Ade Oladipo is sitting there, and honestly the disbelief on his face is something genuinely worth seeing. He says he does not even know where to begin with all of this. Maybe there is some explanation. Maybe things got into the situation from other means. He wants to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, because that is genuinely who Ade is as a person. But then he just gives up trying to be reasonable about it, and says the only thing that truly fits this extraordinary situation. This is wild. Honestly, completely and totally wild. John Fury confronting his own son Tyson for supporting Carl Froch. Tyson calling John out for being too scared to actually fight. The whole Fury family completely imploding in front of the entire boxing world. Ade is absolutely right. There is simply no other word for any of this.
If it's somehow in his system from other means, I know that might sound crazy, but I guess we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, do we? I'd like to think we do. But yeah, this is wild.
Darren Till takes one look at the John Fury versus Tyson Fury confrontation over Carl Froch and says something that honestly catches everyone's slightly off guard. He says yes, it is a new concept, not your traditional boxing drama, but it is genuinely exciting. It is putting the sport in front of new eyes. New audiences who would never normally pay attention to boxing are suddenly watching because the Fury family cannot get through a single week without creating the most extraordinary and completely unmissable content imaginable. But here is what makes Darren Till's positivity ring slightly hollow in this particular context. This is not promotional drama between two fighters building towards a fight. This is a father and son genuinely falling apart in public over Carl Froch. This is Tyson Fury publicly humiliating his own dad by calling him too scared to sign a contract. This is John Fury threatening to shut his son's mouth. And the whole boxing world watches this with a horrible mixture of genuine fascination and genuine sadness. Because whatever else the Fury family is, they are still a family. And watching them tear each other apart over a Carl Froch situation that John himself created is not exciting. It is genuinely and deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah, do you know what? It's a new concept. Obviously, it's not your traditional boxing like the Wardley and stuff like that, but it's exciting and it's dragging a lot of people in, a lot of eyes. It's our third show.
Tyson Fury closes everything with the most devastating verbal attack, and the target is not Carl Froch. The target is his own father. He says he has said some bad words already, but warns that nobody has even heard bad yet. He has not even started. He calls someone a big, stiff idiot. A weak-minded piece, tells them the onslaught is just beginning. And while Tyson frames this publicly as being aimed at a boxing opponent, the timing of these words, coming right after John Fury confronts Tyson for supporting Carl Froch, makes the entire boxing world genuinely wonder whether some of this anger is actually directed at his own father. Because Tyson calling someone weak-minded and a big stiff idiot right after John accuses him of betraying the family over Carl Froch is not a coincidence. This is a son who has been pushed to his absolute limit by a father whose behavior has become completely and totally unsustainable. And the whole boxing world is watching this family crisis unfold with a mixture of pure disbelief and genuine sadness that something this extraordinary is happening so publicly between two people who should simply be sitting down together privately and working things out.
I said some bad words about him. I've never said anything bad about you here, ever. You ain't even heard bad. I haven't even started on you, you big stiff idiot. If you think that's bad, you're on for a verbal onslaught, buddy. You weak-minded piece of
And that is the complete picture right now. The Fury family is falling completely apart in front of the entire boxing world. And the man responsible for all of it is John Fury himself. He calls Carl Froch out. He demands his name on the card. He threatens to take the job over. But the moment Tyson publicly sides against him, John suddenly cannot handle the heat he personally created. Carl Froch called him a big fat mess, and nobody is genuinely interested. Frank Warren calls it a complete sideshow. Johnny Nelson says John realized what he actually done, and now the pressure is entirely on him to behave. Simon Jordan says giving newspaper interviews is the worst possible way to repair a father and son relationship. And Tyson, the man John claims to love more than anything, is sitting there warning that he has not even started yet. The onslaught is coming, and for the first time in his entire life, John Fury looks genuinely scared of the words coming out of his own son's mouth. Sort it out, John, before this family loses something it can never get back.